My name is Samantha Lee, and I will be doing a response to the pro-military intervention debates. And although I will not be speaking anti-military intervention, I will be focusing more on the need to revise the policies that are currently in place, specifically focusing on the differences between Track 1 and Track 2 intervention, as well as the need to strengthen Track 1.5, and the issues and problems that arise because of it. I agree that military intervention can be successful. I believe that the failures are more prominent and that greater changes must be made for military intervention to be positive. One of the greatest failures actually comes from an event where there was a lack of intervention from the United States in Rwanda. The genocide that followed was not a surprise. In fact, there were many signs that it would occur. This failure then begs the question, when do we need to intervene? Genocide has become one of the events that many regulations are bypassed because it is such a terrible act that needs to be stopped. Although aid from organizations such as the United Nations, with their peacekeeping and their structural work towards stability, is often helpful, industrialized countries and large international organizations also have ulterior motives or political conflict. This often happens due to past relations and can be much more of a negative, even though that the intervention that they might be going to with the target state could have great moral aspects to it. This sort of conflict can lead to a halt in humanitarian aid, especially with resources. IGOs, as non-state actors, can often play a stronger role in aid. As they are not connected to political affiliations, there is a greater chance of true motives being on the surface. However, without assistance from the international community, IGOs are often limited in power and resources. Compared to Track 1 intervention, which mainly focuses on these big international communities and individual state players, they are much more effective during wartime, whereas Track 2, which would be non-state actors as a primary resource, are much more effective post-war situations. Due to this, that's why we have Track 1.5, and though it's not a new aid, although it's not a new form of aid, it still needs a lot of work to be more effective. In general, a strengthening of the relations between the two players of IGOs and state actors would make intervention a much more positive stance in the international community.